Shadow Keep.
Tara, ano, Aram, Pau.
Aram lang.
Pau.
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 Umiyak pa si Pao, pinapunasan pa yung luha.
Kagi Pau, okay lang yan.
Iyak
Hindi
na
ko yung may kasalanan, pre.
Gagi si ano to ah? Sloan?
It's your fault.
Sloan ba yan?
Hindi, gagoy, guardian mo yan.
Pangit naman ng guardian niya. Titan na babae, human. Fuck.
Titan na babae human tapos ganyan pa armor. Basura ang po.
Kaya nga eh.
Gagi,
Ano,
Dreams
Dark?
Bane yan na set eh.
Ewan nga. Sa garden yan eh. Moon eh.
Start. Start.
Si ano?
Tangina. Sa ano yan eh? Sa kailan ba? Kailan ba yan?
Ghost of the Deep.
Shadow Keep.
Ano kung ano yung Bungie account ko dito, tol?
Panoorin mo muna si
Eh,
Aztec
ano ba
Cross,
ba?
pre. Tapos merong plugin kay Aztec Cross na i-connect mo yung account.
Nabind ko na yung account ko dati, Pau. Ano na yun?
Oo.
Hanggang ngayon ba?
Binayin ko ulit eh. Para gamit sa stream ni Aztec Cross.
Aztec Cross. Sige, check ko na lang.
Yung slash Bungie,
Para saan? Para saan yung bind?
Para sa ano,
nasaan pa? Saan banda? Sa share screen ko.
Salvacion.
Uy, may Swain! Oh my god, it's me again.
Uy, may kill. Uy, may MF.
It's me again.
Mipo. Mali ka na naman eh.
Mifo,
Mifo,
Mifo.
pre.
Mifo pala.
Sobrang disrespectful mo kapag sinabi
Gagi,
mo.
pre, uncultured ka ba?
Yung uncultured swine eh no? Yun.
Mifo
Sorry,
tayo
sorry.
dito, pre.
It's Mifo pala.
Ga
Pao, saan dito yung
disrespect
login?
mo ah.
Pare sasagasaan na ng ano yung ano.
Tingin,
You know what? In love ako sa beauty niya.
Pao. Where's the login in here?
Pow.
Aztec Cross?
Yes, Aztec Cross.
Tignan mo nga yung stream niya.
Wait lang.
At may drops din ba?
Para saan yung bind niya yan?
Drops daw.
Wala
Wala.
sa inyo. What the
Drops?
hell?
May bibigay?
Sa
Stream
ano mo
kit
na
lang to, Pau.
Sa... Wala, i-ano nyo na lang, i-settings nyo na lang sa ano, Twitch.
Connections yun, di ba?
Oo, connections.
Naka-ano na sa akin, naka-connect na sa akin.
Magaganyan
Ayun,
tayo.
Twitch na yun.
Kanino stream papanoorin nyo?
Sa Bungie mismo.
Ilang minutes yung
Walang
kailangan?
ano dyan.
Walang Bungie, tol? Walang Epic Games? Steam lang?
Google
Meron
mo,
yan, meron
Bungie.
hiwalay si Destiny yan sa mismong Bungie.net. Kinoconnect.
Ah, Bungie.net lang.
Hmm.
Know what?
Uy, gagi eh na si Rasputin, pre.
Putin.
Si Rasputin.
The War mo eh.
Rasputin.
Gagi, walang power.
Past game na ito, matutulog na ako.
Makakatulog ka ba eh mag-start na yung showcase pagtapos ng game.
Oh, makakatulog talaga ako. Destiny 2 official extension, yun di ba? Yes.
Okay na, naka-link na yata.
Check mo sa connections, settings, account, tapos connections, Twitch.
Gago,
Ah,
pre, ang ganda na,
Yan,
ang
like,
ganda ng pinapanood ko sa Twitch. Ang ganda ng Destiny, gago. 4K.
Pero ano
Yan,
meron
like,
kay
yan, like.
Major Jake?
Ayun na, other
Really?
connections, Destiny Companion.
Siya yung the
Naka-
best. The best PvP. Siya yung pinakamaraming...
Gago, pre.
Ano issue? Ba't may issue about sa kanya ngayon?
Sino?
Si Grenadier Jake?
Ewan ko, toxic
Parang
yan.
something about stream sniping yata.
Pao, tama ba to, Pao?
Wait lang, pre.
Panoorin yung stream ko, pre, gago. Ang
Gagi
ganda
na
ng
si X-Stranger,
4K.
pre. Ito yung favorite ko
Gagi,
sila
pre.
sa Beyond Light.
Panoorin nyo, Rocket tsaka Nico. Top.
Ano yun?
Ay, Rebel.
Pare, patayin nyo
Stream.
naman.
Ayun na, patay na, tol. Wait lang, tol ah.
Takte kasi, bakit naglalakad kin? May portal eh.
Tangin.
Ah, hindi.
Hindi nyo nasa
Nag-AFK
ano
ako.
ko, for you ko eh, sa front page ng Twitch eh, no?
Lo.
Hindi nyo nasa akin. Hindi nyo na kay Raven
Ang ganda,
kanina. Sa
Ganda nga.
front page nga siya ng Twitch, gagong
Sige,
Twitch.
panata mo, pre. Bato. Bato.
Ay.
Gago, akala mo, no? Something out of a movie. Mga cinematic talaga nila yun, nakakaiba.
Angas ni Exo Stranger, Gagi.
Kasi yung graphics niya, tignan mo yung graphics na Ares Mord.
Aries Sport.
Ang ganda ng ano niya eh, no? Ang tawag dito, puka niya.
Puka. Pukang ina.
Pukang ina.
Pukipan.
Pusit at gagi. Oy, shit, wait lang.
Pre,
Wala, ganito. Gusto mo manakit? Killing spree tuloy.
Tumalon-talon lang, parang tanga.
boom!
Tahan. Ito kay Siborat, di ba? Chosen Slicer, ayan na. Son of the Lost na.
Papakita siguro yung kay Sabat.
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 Hindi papakita yun. Hindi pinakita. Hindi kasi DLC ito eh. Ano na yata sunod
Nagpasok
dito?
kayo bukas.
Wala.
Meron.
bukas eh.
Pero
Wala,
saglit
wala
lang din ako.
Yeah,
9 to 12 lang ako bukas eh. Pero
Ako din, pre.
magbabantay kami ng boot. Boot.
Ang bot na imo. Gagi yan na yung memories niya.
Memories bring back.
So the end before it
Shit.
happened. Shit.
Ano, my second monitor.
Sana talaga gawa nila ng movie to putik.
Sobrang ganda ng Switch Queen eh, no, Gagi.
Oh, gagi Witch Queen talaga yung
Witch Queen nga lang.
ko tol eh.
Boom. Yun naman. Atakas ka pa. Yan.
Putang ina.
Ang gago. Putak
Ay, Gagi.
Sayang, nabuhay pa.
Ay shit. Tangin na.
Oto. Tau. Nice one.
Napatay kayo ng amubo. Bumalik po ko.
Si kay Sandra.
Emotions inspires sacrifice. Baliktad.
Baliktad. Sacrifice. Hindi na nakasalita eh. Nasabit na eh. Bawas na kasi kamay niya.
Nabuwasan ng daliri. Sa patikol.
Napatikol. Ano ang pangalan ng ghost niya ulit? Si Imaru.
Si Finch.
Si
Amari
ano,
na sa is.
About kay Imari yung next season, what the hell?
si Hamir.
Si Jalad.
Si Jamal.
Jamoran. Si Jamoran.
Ako
Pero
pre
hindi
si
pa
Jamal.
namamatay eh.
Gago pre si Vincent talaga yun. Boom! Eh, poke ng ina mo. Na-cancel ng poke ng ina nga.
Mag-ulti yung amumo na naman eh.
Kaya nga eh, naghahanda eh.
Uy, Jalad.
It's me again,
Putang ina, patay ako.
Banata mo yun.
Wow. Mabanatan ko talaga yan.
Napapahinto mid-air yung Tristana na iko yun.
Kalma. Ay, gago ka.
Mag-reset na rin ako. Gusto ko na item.
Nag-reset na ako.
Nabuhay pa yung lib. Ay, ni-rest. Si Aikoro, bilog na bilog yung ulo eh.
Si Jada Smith.
Namatay?
Na-hit ko.
Ayun yung kalbo talaga, pre.
Nabahala. Sun and Moon nga pre.
Baby, you're my sun and moon.
Talaga yung kalbo na hindi kumikinang yung bunbunan, pre.
Hindi ano to, hindi kalbo gama to.
Ano siya, pre, nakamat.
Mat-finish gago.
Ba't finish, pre?
Share.
Heal tayo, tol.
Layo ng
Pau.
heal mo, pre.
Any rocket punchers?
Bilis mo,
Sina-
bagal mo naman.
Sabi mo ako.
Masasyal ka kasi maglakad eh. Ito pa oh.
The traveler's approach from the beginning.
Lo. Nonsense.
Goal.
Many civilizations
Oh.
rest for the
Nagpabawas ng buhay yun.
Ano nagawa nun, pre?
Yammer.
Paano
Dino, pre.
titigilan ka?
Gago, sakit ng Malphite. The fuck?
Sino yung live?
Nandun sa damo, kanina.
Ako, saan ako pupunta?
To. Charot.
Mali ka na, mali ka.
Dapat
naman,
sinapakita
Dre.
yung worm eh, no?
Naano ko eh.
Sino
Kung
sinapak
ginawa
yung
niya yung
worm?
ginawa niya sa table, di ba umampa siya ng table?
Hindi wala tayo na sa anong parasite.
I don't know why the traveler gave Savathun.
Lahat.
Wala akong
Ay, no,
mana.
gago. Nagtagpo yung araw at buwan.
Wait lang! Ang sakit na lang kalaban ka mag-apat! Nang ina.
Ano, pre? Yung ulo ni Zavala, pre, parang Mentos.
Mentos
si
na
ano?
nilawayan, pre.
Si
Yung
ano
Mentos,
yun?
yung Mentos kasi na bago, glossy pa eh.
Oy,
Yung nasip-sip na.
Oh.
Kadugyo to po, kadir.
Sasabihin nyo, pre, putak, pre.
Si Ikora yung ano. Tagos chocolate na bilog.
Yung
Yung
ulo kasi
ano,
ni
yung-
Zavala, pre, parang Mentos na nasip-sip.
yung,
na-glossy.
yung Mentos na hindi na glossy.
Nababad na sa coke.
Gago, nakahuli sila tilapia.
Ito na, lightfall na.
Wala pa. Yung dalawang season pa, papakita.
17
Hindi,
minutes,
pinakita yun.
guys! Let's get it!
Sabi na ni Pao.
Ay, oo. Bigla nakakita na lang out of power eh.
Hype na hype eh, gagi, hype. Putang ina, ako talaga inuuno. Gigil lang puta. Nakaiirita ako sa Malphite, magbibuild niya ako ng ano.
Bayan,
Zone niya,
namatay ako.
putang ina eh.
Dapat yun.
What the fuck are you doing, my guy?
Magsa-zone niya ako tol. Kasi yung Malphite, nagpa-flash ulti lagi sa akin eh. Tangina eh.
Ang pangit ng armor, reputik eh, naka ano. Yung sa witch queen na armor.
ultihan ako.
Nultihan ka.
Ultihan ko.
At sinalo mo, pre,
Just
kaya
like
ka
this. I did. Angas pa naman ito sa ano, no? Sa
Yes,
trailer. Tapos
oo.
yun pala yung pagkamatay niya, guys.
Putayin ko na lang muna yung ano. Yung Malphite, putang ano. Auto flash eh.
Sino ba kumuha sa ghost niya, ano?
Wala
Sabaton?
lang. Teleport lang.
Teleport pala yun, di ba?
Teleport lang kung nawala yung traveler sa trophy. Pogi, hatak na tayo lahat. Eh.
Where did her ghost go?
Gago. Pok. Lah, hindi pa namatay yun. Ha! Free hit pa rin yun.
Hi.
Sino yun?
Hi.
Ay,
Hi.
ay. Ay,
Hi.
punat, putang ini.
Hi. Sino
Hi.
ba?
Bumalik ka
Ay.
pa talaga sa kamatayan mo, Lord.
Long hands.
Push, 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 push.
Isa ka pa, pre.
Ay.
Kala mo, sigan ka eh.
Ay.
Ay, no.
Lord.
Late pa naman ng boses ni Pao. Martina free.
Boom.
Ay pa rin ako, pre.
Kaya niyo naman pala yun eh.
Ay, gagi. Hindi na ako buhay.
Nanonood nila ako sa Twitch, gago.
Oh, what the hell?
Fight!
Dito na ang tagapagdas nyo. Ayun o, putang ayun o.
Oh.
What the fuck? Ang sakit.
Sana lang, auto. Auto, auto.
What the
Yo!
fuck?
What did I
Hindi ko
just
alam
hear?
ba?
Auto.
Bakit hindi nag-auto dun sa ano? Sa sino to? Tristana? What the fuck?
Baka akala mo.
Astigin ka, pre.
Astigin ka.
Ba't mo alam?
Gagi, oh. Tara rin tayo ng round. Nandun si Witness ngayon, no?
Tara, witness 1v1.
Ano sa planets?
Oh, gogi. May baliw.
Holy shit!
Sa planet siya ngayon nag-go karon event yan eh.
Malfight pre, malfight gago.
Bang.
Sayang. Wala pa masyadong damage.
Let's
Jack pala yung
go!
putang ina eh. Putang ina, kaya ang kukunat eh. Galit talaga sa akin, putang ina niya.
Ano kaya
Ano bang
just the
bakit,
witness pre? Ang ganda ng ano niya pre. Ang clouds.
Ano yung pre? Salt Nick.
Mik.
Sa Paul gago. Kaboom!
Bogong.
Nice.
Gagi na si Ultron.
Oh. Ay, gagi, pinakita yung paggalaw ng traveler, pre.
Ayan oh, hindi nakita nila rin.
Di
Niyan.
ba nung Lightfall yan?
Hindi oh.
Before to be.
Before.
Ah,
Ayun yung mga
pinakita
natao sa
to-
ano, last sitio.
Pinakita to sa start ng ano.
putang ina talaga ng Malphite.
Yung mga tao sa last city na balik. Why is it moving again? It's leaving us again.
Hey!
Ay, putang ina mo. Ina mo, ano ko ng first hit.
Nagsayang ako ng pera, guys, ah. Pero okay lang.
Sige lang guys.
Spider ba yun?
Siyempre, sa-charge na ako ng cellphone. What phone ko?
Again! Nabuhay kasi si ano eh, no? Ano pangalan nun? Yung merong stasis?
Wow.
Hermes.
Si
Hermes.
Kermit.
Gigil talaga
Putang
sila
ina.
sa akin, putang ina.
puno kasi yung yelo niya, tangin eh. Sino ba kasi naglabas ng yelo sa akin?
Boom.
Boom. Boom. Boom.
Threatened sila sa aking existence, putang ina.
Hindi ka na nakaka one shot pre.
Fall off ka na, tanga ka, hindi ka nagrabadon agad eh. Buo
Yung question mark daw.
Go. Ano go, pre?
Gigil yan pre, gigil.
Oh, pre, namatay ka na, gago.
Hindi, pang reset lang, pang reset. Kailangan ko ng ano eh.
Ah,
Gagi, may nakasleeper.
tayo mali yung prediction. Ay, shit! Wala ko.
Ilayo nyo lang kay Rocket, tol. Atras na.
Nag-flash yung crit. Ay,
Ina
gagi.
mo, natulak.
Mider ko sana huliin pre. Ako itatakbo.
Ayun na pre, tatanggalin na yung life support niya.
Rar.
Ayun na, hugutin na yung life support. Puta, hinugot.
Okay, gago.
Hinugot yung life support pre.
Hey!
Euthanasia. Sad.
Ang ina.
Gagi, ang ganda ng...
Ang kunat.
Nag-window shutdown siya yun.
Say mo pre. O yung mga mabubuhay dyan, mabuhay na.
Ay no, puro low to.
Low to.
Oh, nag-asim. Inultihan pa ako.
Boom.
Bigyan mo na kay Ken yan pre, mo na kay Ken yan. O diba, bobo yan eh.
Salamat.
Alam ko na yung gagawin niya eh.
Tanga.
Sobrang gigil sa akin, nakalimutan nila si Rocket nandyan.
Kaya nga eh.
Alam mo pre, di ko alam ba't ginigigil ka nila, wala ka naman masyadong damage.
Kaya nga eh.
Ulti lang yata yung may damage
Ano
ka.
to?
Ulti lang ginagawa ako eh. Gagi, nag-join niya ako kasi ako yung tinitira na
Oh,
tinitira
shit,
pre.
Hey, yo.
Naiirita
Oh,
na
yeah.
ako.
Ken, hey yo.
Yung flash out,
Oh, yeah.
gago.
Oh, shit. Mara dyan pa.
Gagi, punit ako.
Kapit. Nga kayo magdikit.
Yan na ba
Pre.
kinaka... Yan na ba
They're
kinakaya
doing
ang
it,
aking
them.
game?
Ayun, nagago.
9 minutes, pre. Ito na yon.
Gago ko.
What the hell?
Holy dodge.
Oh, putang ina talaga oh. Gigil na gigil. Gusto ko yung
Tulong! Tulong!
Boom. Ala, Gagawin mo dito.
Uy, putang ina, pre! Tulong! Ah! Gago!
Okay pa si Amanda dito.
Paulit ka, full tactic ka. Oh, tara dito.
Si Amanded.
Gagi, lumapit ka. Ay, na full charge niya pala yung stock niya, pre.
Ay, ganun ba yun? Ganun ba Tristana? Uy, tagal Tristana? Hindi ko alam yun.
Pag pumapatok yung turn skill, reset sa double. Cancer yun eh.
Naka-shield ball.
Kaya nga alit-alit yung binibuild dyan.
Hindi ko pa naputok.
Heyo?
Ang kukunat nila.
3-8 lang yung Tristana sa atin eh.
Kaya nga.
Oh,
Ako, wala akong magagawa dyan.
sige pa.
Ano yan, pre? Ultian mo lang yung wave, pre.
Gagong angas na yung cinematic na to.
Huwag ka masyado lumapit, gago ka.
Hindi ka ng pauno si Witness. Abay.
Ang ina talaga?
GG well played.
GG!
Ang hirap.
Hihis.
GG's mga pangit. Look, natang ina.
Bukap G. Ano, ul kadiri. Joke lang. Gagi pa ako may muffin dyan. Pre.
The witness.
Hook up. Ano, may AIDS yan eh.
True.
Oh, sino-honor ko?
Honor
Honor
ko
ko si Ken.
si...
Honor
Honor ko
kami
si...
ni Ken.
Ha?
Honor tayo, Reven.
Okay.
Honor mo si Rocket. Hindi ko. Honor kita. Tapos,
Gagi, nilagyan ng tattoo.
pagkatapos nun, wala lang. Parang ko din yung ano, sayang.
Ina, kasi Witness lumulutang. Gago, nag-loading.
Ikaw ba naman, madaming taong nakahiga sa'yo. Tapos naging, ito naman, lumalabasan sa ulo mo yung mga nakahiga. Takas talaga.
Let's go!
Okay, let's go.
Pag nag
7 seconds. 7
Iya.
minutes.
Okay, let's go.
7 seconds.
Di pangit. Di pakihiga.
We're in no position to engage the enemy.
Osiris.
Cyrus.
Don't die.
Don't die.
Sino yung sabi nun?
Sinita ko na eh.
Ano? Si Ikora.
Ay, Cora.
Kasi ko.
Si Calb.
Baba ako saglit.
Iilan din mo.
Nakastrip ako.
Ako din, ako din.
Makakabahan kayo eh.
Naging puno ng santol si ano eh. Si Carlos eh.
No more running away. Rest now.
Bakit naging puno pala si Carlos, Tol? Nung namatay. Anong nag-cause sa kanya para maging yun?
The uglier they are, the harder they fall, right?
Ano? Yung ano,
Yung veil ba yan?
hindi ko maalala pare.
We finally found you. What's wrong, Osiris?
Get down, Mr. President!
Finality takes shape. It's creating the link. At long last. Destroy it.
Kadiri naman yung barrel.
Yung unang bigay eh, no? Nimbus number 1.
Sobrang dramatic na, hindi ko alam ba't hindi niya na-control.
Kaya nga eh.
Di ba yun dun sila nag-e-excel? Ba't hindi niya na-control yun?
Kaya nga eh. Nag-crash land eh, no?
Bra moment.
We just lost.
Gotcha, Wes. Wait nga. Wala ko papel, pre.
Zavala. Come in.
Nakasana siya, no? Darwin.
Kaya mo na, nagbebebe time pre. Naintindihan ko si Dark. Baka mamaya nasa bingit na ng kamatayan yung away nila.
Dark Queen.
Ginabi-gabi pa naman hindi pa ni Darwin maglaro eh.
Logi yan na.
4 minutes pa naman, baba muna ako, hugasan ko lang ito pinakainom.
Boom. Potek.
Alright! Let's
Agnas.
freaking go, boys!
Ito talaga gawin ng movie to no? Puta.
Angas ng animation nila eh.
Ayun nga eh. Kala mo Marvel eh.
Basura yung ano,
Kasi
yung ano, error codes.
meron sa movie nun, halfway bigla magbababun.
Babon din.
Yung ano talaga pre, yung anong region, Vow. Grabe.
Buti hindi tayo nag-day 1
Basura
ng
yung
puta.
ano.
Kaya naging 2 days yung ano nun eh, nag-days yung 24 hours na extension.
Kaya ginawa na nilang 48
Pag
hours.
nilagay nila tong ano latest season. Pinakita nila sa animat.
The witness has moved beyond our reach.
Holy shit.
Ay, ano pangalan yan? Ano pa yung pangalan ng guardian na yun?
Alin?
Kalimutan ko.
Yan. Ano yan pre? May pangalan yan eh. Hindi lang siya basta-basta na Titan Guardian.
Ano
Yung
si-
nabalubalok.
13.
Yung nabalubalok tot eh.
Nabalubalok to.
All
Patay
Oo nga
siya. Dapat hindi na sinama yung ghost net. Tanga-tanga siya.
Gagi, laging kasama ng guardians yung ghost niya.
have failed.
Pwede.
Iniwan sa bahay.
Pwede iwan.
Pero yun kasi yung norm. Wow, norm.
Tangin na naman.
Ayan na.
Oh shit.
Maka parang Fast and Furious to pre. May final shape, tas final shape.
Oh my
Tapos
god!
the final eternal shape. Thank you, command. Ay si ano, sa bala. Salute.
Salute! Guys,
Yes sir,
salute!
salute.
Nagsalot
Nakasalute
ako,
ako.
gagi. Gagi.
Salute! Lance Reddick,
Lance Reddick. I salute you.
my captain.
Thank you sa bala. For the god roll of hothead. Lahat ng god roll binigay sa akin.
Seen terrible things born out in the darkness.
Kasi extra straight.
The moment brings them closer.
Destiny 1.
Oh my gosh, where are we?
God.
Uy, sino
King's
yung
Ball.
streamer na yun, pre?
Hindi ba si ano yun? Ano pa
Oo.
ano nun?
Sa Valor.
Ends and beginnings.
Hindi, yung isa. Ay, babae ba? Akala ko si ano, yung lalaki. Paano?
Dami.
Hindi, yung isa. Si Sweat. Si Sweat ba? Hindi, si ano.
Yung isa na
Oh, si Sweat niya. Si Sweat.
Wala umiyak.
Holy crap.
Gago ko.
Ano gago ko? Si ano ba yun? Si Sabala ba yun? May buhok?
Hiyo. 1 minute.
The line between
Boom!
so very.
talagang stasis pa.
Let's cross it together.
Nakikita na
Angas.
natin like subclass shit.
Ang angas ng animation ng Stasis, pre, pero ano, kung ino, Sabaton, nakakilabot talaga.
Kilabot talaga ang pre-ascendancy gamit namin.
Walang gali. Basura.
Gagi yan na. Holy shit, 20 seconds.
Wow! Sheesh!
Si Cade, putang ina.
Ito na. Pakita niyo si Kid. Puking ina nyo.
Kinilabutan ako dun, pre, kahit di ako masyado naglaro ng Destiny. Kahit late na ako naglaro.
Ito na!
Wait lang, Pao, tama ba tong ano ko, yung tinamo sa Twitch settings ko? Naka-share screen pa rin naman ako eh.
May drops ba to, Pao? Ba't
May
parang
drops
lang nakikita?
ano.
Tama ba to, Pao?
Thanks for tuning in, y'all. Like
lang,
many of
hindi
you,
kita
I've been playing games as long as I can remember.
Okay na yan,
They're
pero
a core part
Sige,
of
tingnan mo
what
nga
makes
ngayon.
me
Destiny
play.
Companion.
I believe there's
Ay,
this
hindi
deeply
Destiny
rooted,
Companion.
often unstated
wala.
mission of
Destiny
games
muna,
to
Destiny
keep
mismo, Bungie
adventure
na.
alive. In 2014,
Connection.
Bungie set out to start a new
Ng
adventure.
Steam.
heroes awakened
Wala,
on a
hindi ako
desolate
naka-Epic
planet.
Games ako.
A silent god
Ah,
set
oo
in
nga
our
pala,
sky.
no?
And it wouldn't be long before an ancient enemy, shrouded in
Yaman na, yaman na.
darkness, showed up at humanity's door to destroy us. Over the years,
PlayStation na
our
yung
heroes would shape a
sapatos niya. Ang
story
gago, ang ganda.
far greater than anything we could have imagined. Players would explore deep into the depths of Venus, hunting a machine god that controlled time itself. They'd invent ways to combine their mythic weaponry and their paracausal
Ay, oo,
abilities
dami pa rin bugs
to
na sa
stand
inyo.
alone against monsters that took
Sa
others
paywall.
an entire elite squad. They'd
Destiny
race
2 official
alongside their
extension ba yung
friends
kinonect nyo?
far into the early morning in
Ito.
the halls of an ancient city where only a
Dito.
select few emerged victorious at dawn, clutching the heart of a dragon. But most
Ang
importantly,
thinking.
they'd bring their friends and their
Wait.
family into this world,
D1 pa yata
together
eh.
meet new faces on this adventure who would become lifelong companions. Now, together,
Oh
we
shit.
approach the final shape.
Saan na? Putang na, saan na yung nag-stream?
We're about to embark
Bobo, lahat
on
kami
the last
naka-stream.
expedition of Destiny's first
Si
saga.
Pao nakaano si
So
Pao.
let's be
Yung
clear
tower.
about the
Ako
stakes.
naka-stream ako.
Oh, chinek kay
Yung final
Tower
shape,
din nakaganon
You
pa.
will go inside the traveler.
Yaman na.
The journey will be difficult. And what awaits you on the other side of this trek is nothing less than the deadliest entity we have ever faced. There will be no open betas. There aren't going to be any guides on the internet
Ayun yung
telling
raid.
you how to handle what's to come. Whether you've been with us from the beginning, joined us somewhere along the road, or are looking at Destiny for the first time, anybody who shows up on launch day is going to be greeted with this same uncharted world. A vacuum-sealed experience begging for you to be the
Walang
first
ano.
person to peel it open. So today is your invitation to go forth.
Galing niya mag-ano,
An
sa
adventure.
script. Ang ganda ng script niya.
Si Joe Blackbird.
Si Joe Black.
Ayan na.
It's Jover.
Oh shit.
Let's go! Let's go!
Kanino ghost to?
Sky Guardian, di ba? Doon sa cutscene.
Puta, sino to? Si Cade to?
Hindi, si
Wala
Guardian
kasi.
yan, pre.
After all these years, we never talked about it.
Wala sa title.
Why I brought you back.
The fuck? Ayun yung laman niya.
Yun yung bagong battle pass.
Why you
Yung laman
were chosen.
traveler.
Oo, yun nga eh. In this world, gago.
Oh my god!
Ba't wag na?
The truth is, I didn't know then.
Uy, galing.
Gali, gali.
Nakasan bracers, gog.
It was just
Oo nga.
a
Paano
feeling.
ba naman kasi dapat ano yan, pre? Starfire Protocol, kaso ano? Kaya sun bracers
Uy,
na.
sa Europa to ah. Gogi, nagdo-over jump!
Gog straight jump. Hunter ba yun?
But I know now.
Di ba warlock yun?
Pero si Cage, nasa loob ng Traveler si Cage?
All we've lost.
What the hell? Ano yun? Dami kamay.
This
Ayun na
fight,
yung kalbong mat. Isa lang
Dami
yun.
guardian, gog.
our last.
Kinakalma lang kayo guys.
So I'm asking you one last time
Galit na
to
galit si Ghost.
rise.
What?
What is that?
What?
Ba't siya
Oo nga.
naglabas ng ganun?
Armor? Question mark?
February 27, pre.
Ang mahal na pre-order. Fucking shit.
Oh my god, ang angas nun, gagi. Instant armor kaya.
Gago, the heart of the traveler. Ito na.
This is a momentous time in Destiny history. We've been building to this moment for the last 10 years.
The final shape is the conclusion to that journey. This is a moment in gaming that, as a developer, you just don't get very often.
Guardians and allies are fighting the biggest threat that the universe has ever seen in this big culmination of the Light and Darkness saga.
Decade.
When we were thinking of what the final shape could be, it had to be a lot of different things. It needs to pay off this epic confrontation with the Witness that we've been setting up for years. It has to bring you closer to your allies in the Vanguard. It has to be this place that like makes you feel nostalgic for the entire journey you've been on.
When we were resurrected by ghosts at the very beginning of this story, we didn't know why, but it was for this. The Traveler is asking us for help, and it's our responsibility to protect every living thing in the universe from what the Witness intends to do.
Yung pala yung purpose natin.
When we first start the final shape, we are finally able to go through the portal that the Witness opened in the Traveler at the end of Lightfall.
Inside is the pale heart of the Traveler. That is the stage for our showdown with the Witness.
Papatayin si Witness.
The Witness has the darkness. It has always had a connection to it. The pale heart of the Traveler is what it's trying to use to gain connection to the light. So with both, it can enact its final shape.
The Witness looks around and sees a lack of purpose, no meaning. It wants to fix all that. So it's trying to put the universe into this frozen perfection where everything's just exactly how it thinks it's supposed to be. That is the final shape.
If we're going to defeat the Witness, it's going to take everyone. Failure is not an option.
We're gonna need the Vanguard, all of our allies, and all the Guardians to rally together and be brave in the face of Oblivion.
Plus.
In the final shape, we're going to answer questions at the grandest scale. But what I find really interesting is that it's also a very personal journey where we deepen our relationships with these characters that we've known for so long. Zavala, Ikora, our ghost, get to reconnect with Cayde 6. So, like, while there's this great conflict and everything going on around us and stakes of just unimaginable heights, it's still at the end a story told around campfires by a bunch of companions who have been fighting together for hundreds of years.
Ganda ng Titan na yan.
Uy, gagi galit si Ikora. Gagi! Nakakunot yung noo. Yo.
In the final shape, we're going through the portal that the Witness has opened up to confront it and stop the final shape. Inside the Traveler is this infinite, vast, unknowable. And we're landing on the Pale Heart, which is a fraction of really what is inside the Traveler.
What the fuck?
The Pale Heart is weird.
Nasa loob tayo ng Traveler the whole time.
It's a little strange. It makes you feel a bit uncomfortable. And it's also so cool and artistic in the best way.
Kasi sinundan nila si Witness eh.
The Witness entered well ahead of any Guardians, and so it's had time to kind of shape what's there. When our Guardian enters, the rest of the Pale Heart starts getting shaped also around what we've experienced.
This is the Traveler recreating the world in front of you as it saw on your journey.
One of the most memorable Blothalas from Destiny's past is the D1 Tower of Love from the Destiny team. The final shape means so much to everyone who's building it, and I think players are really going to be able to see that.
Instagrammable
New weapon.
The Pale Heart is our very first linear destination that we've ever done. I would love it if players felt that they began their journey in a place of safety and feel it escalate in danger, in surrealness, because there is this beautiful evolution of the space.
They see things that are more and more wrong as they begin to go towards the Witness's monolith. It's kind of this omnipresent, foreboding thing off in the distance.
The weirdest things happen as you get closer to the monolith in the form of reshaping. Kind of like deconstructing things and putting them back together just wrong.
The sense of scale you get out there, like as you're exploring these spaces and you're jumping on these reshaped cuboids of Earth, you feel tiny. You feel alone. You feel like you are not the force to be reckoned with that you have been. You're not the God Slayer right now. You're just this little person jumping from these massive pieces to massive pieces.
One of the things that we really tried to also capture is that the witness keeps throwing everything it has at you. And so we're going to fight these new enemies. The
Subjugators are the new unit you're going to be facing in the final shape. They have an enhanced power set. They're performing stasis powers and strand powers to face the Guardian, while in support of all the other enemies you're fighting too.
They bring something entirely new to the battlefield, which is kind of this element of control.
They're back there pinging away with stasis abilities, throwing crystals at you, freezing you in place, tangling you up.
We're focusing you on the campaign and only the campaign. It's the most important thing in the universe at that moment. You have to stop the final shape from happening.
And for that, we do need the help with our allies. And so we're going to make sure that the core Vanguard team gets back together. Zavala and Ikora and Cade.
The campaign is just the start of the Pale Heart. After you've reached the monolith and finished the campaign, we open up the entire destination. And so the entire Pale Heart is going to react to you and what you are doing.
Ang cool ng Wastelands na concept, shit.
The campaign in the final shape doesn't really end with the final mission. The raids are where you defeat like the big bosses. So it's only natural that when you are going to confront the witness, you're going to do that in the raid. But that might not be enough. This is a moment where we need to rally all Guardians to be able to overcome the final shape and the witness.
Walang fallout eh.
In the final shape, we are inside the Traveler. Very close to this energy. This allows us to have new supers. Arc, Void.
We want to create something that turns you into an offensive powerhouse, but also can benefit your allies in a support capacity. There is this thread of team play and like working with your friends to overcome the odds. The Warlock Super is this ultimate expression of solar energy coursing through your Guardian. This Solar Warlock Super is a callback to Radiance from D1.
Other than Golden Gun, this is the only other first-person super in Destiny right now. What the fuck? Melee's like all these projectiles going off, doubling the amount of projectiles. Your grenade almost being sentient as it searches around, and then it hits a character and bounces off and goes to another one. And you're so overflowing with this energy that you're also giving it to your allies, allowing them to have their solar weapons supercharged, applying Scorch when they're shooting.
The new Solar Warlock aspect. When I cast my Rift, it is going to create this little solar sword that when it sees an enemy, it launches itself out and hits the enemy and explodes and scorches them.
It just feels very alive. Twilight Arsenal.
Sunbrazers is life na naman.
It's a layered super.
This is the only ranged one-off offensive super for Titans in the game. The Titan jumps up into the air, summons a giant void axe, throws it, summons another one, throws it, summons another one, looks at a different group of enemies, throws it. And when these axes fly through the air, they stick into the ground or an enemy, do their void gravity thing where they suck a bunch of energy, enemies in, and then explode. But that doesn't destroy the axe. The axe sticks around, and you in your allies can go and pick up the axe on enemies with it.
This super is insane to me.
The Void Titan aspect.
Hold my axe,
and hold my grenade button to consume my grenade and turn it into the shield. The more damage it takes, the more it charges up, and then I can release that, and it creates this blast that deals massive damage.
Mas nadadamage nga daw yung shield, mas kumukunat, tapos mas masakit eh.
The Hunter
Arc is all about finding the shortest distance between 2 points. The Hunter kind of rears back, takes this knife and throws it across the world, and then is able to glink to its position, do the slash that just decimates anyone nearby.
One really great thing about that is not just you do it once, but you're able to do it 3 times, along with devastating attacks each time you do it.
The hunter has an aspect. We take our staff, we twirl it in the air, which propels us upward. It creates this burst, which amplifies you and any allies near you.
It almost makes it feel like you're playing a fighting game, right? Like these combos that you're chaining together to do these different moves. It like takes that sandbox to the next level.
The more aspects we have, the more capable we are to do that.
It feels like you're like riding the lightning, you know? Like that instantaneous, like...
That was good, but I think it's more like...
Naglaway mo, Lods.
You know?
I like it, I like it.
Let's go!
Ako, pre-order na naman.
Weapons team has been working on all sorts of
Ay, ito na
goodness.
si
We've
ano?
got exotics, we've got legendaries,
Vivian.
we've got perks. We're always cooking up stuff.
Mga
We're always
exotic.
playing with stuff that we think is like really interesting or taking inspiration. We have Tessellation, which is this exotic pyramid fusion rifle. It has the really intriguing property of adapting your Guardian's current damage type.
This will be the first time that you can run a weapon that can adapt to be strand or stasis in the energy slot. So you'll be able to run an entirely strand or entirely stasis.
Linear fusion, LFR.
LFR.
Tessellation has the additional property that you can special reload
LFR. Hindi, ano lang yan, fusion
reshape
rifle lang
your
yan.
grenade and suck it into the weapon.
Hindi,
and then
LFR nga.
fire out a super destructive single projectile. It's a really special weapon.
What's the one specific exotic that I can make that's like really zany that you would like right now?
What if Golden Gun was a sniper rifle?
What if you could harness the might of the Traveler? You know, we had a moment where we saw that Traveler Beam cutscene. I know people on Weapons went, I kind of want that. You're like, that is incredibly dope.
So we've got this opportunity to bring back these iconic Destiny 1 weapons, but really turn it into something that feels unique in Destiny 2.
We have to bring Vostok into the fold.
The Red Death exotic pulse rifle.
And Dragon's Breath. Burn the world, burn it all. In the final shape, we have new weapon subfamilies coming, broadening what existing weapons can be.
Really bordering on exotic functionality. So for example, we've got a rocket pistol sidearm subfamily. We always liked the special ammo sidearms. This fires tiny, slow-moving rockets. They hit very hard, doing AoE damage. They have a mixture of regular weapon and rocket launcher stats. We're also doing a new support weapon subfamily.
The support frame auto rifle is a type of legendary auto rifle. It'll let you switch seamlessly from firing at enemies to healing your allies. I'm really excited to and keep my team alive, honestly.
What if legendary?
Weapons team is always coming up with new ideas. We've got a ton of new cool stuff coming over the next few years, and some new and really wild ideas, which are pretty exciting.
What's next? What's next?
Ito na yung subclass sana.
Come on, take a look. We've got a lot to cover. This place is only big enough for one dashing hero type, and that's me. So I'm back. Hey, you two, give me a sec. I was magnificent. This is great. Anyone want a hug? Get your rock off my map. Worst case scenario, you die. But who knows? Maybe you won't. Well, better get back to it.
So talaga yung personality ni Kate, pre. Fuck.
Para sa si Rocket Raccoon eh.
In this moment where we're driving to the end of the Light and Darkness saga, it's great to see Cayde return to this world at this moment with all this change about to culminate with this confrontation with the long-standing enemy, the Witness.
Cayde is the quintessential hunter. His presence casts such a long shadow over the story of Destiny, whether it was when he was alive or when he was dead.
What Cayde goes through in this journey, how he serves as a catalyst for the other characters, the events that are uncovered to have brought him back. This is how the story had to end. There was no end to the Light and Darkness saga that didn't have Cayde here alongside his friends to finish the job.
Once we started digging into the nature of the Pale Heart, I think that crystallized Cayde's role as a guide. Cayde is Virgil, and he's our guide through this other place. Cayde is the one who is the most appropriate person to be the guide, because that's his job. That's always been his job. It just feels so natural for Nathan to be back in the booth. It felt amazing to just see him slip back into the role like without missing a beat.
Right, instantly.
In the flesh, or metal, as it were.
Cade's the glue that's always held Zavala and Ikora together. Having him back puts them in a position of questioning where they've been and what they've done without him.
You think about the journey that Zavala's been on and how he's been taken down this dark path, and you think about the weight that's been on Ikora, having to hold the Vanguard together, having Cade's voice of levity and brightness that he brings to that group, that I think is going to be great for them.
Gagi, therapy.
Well,
Therapeutic.
At least we have each other.
We want people to take away that sense of reunion and that idea of like the gang being back together for this moment.
I'm here now.
Yeah,
Wherever the hell here is.
Naka-activate yung memento mo, meron basag.
New subclass!
Yung subclass, saan na yung pula?
Pinag-usapan na kanina yung yung mga updates sa class.
Ito na ba yun?
The Path! Ano yan?
Guardian,
Wait lang.
the witness poses a dire threat.
Ayan na.
And the Witch Queen holds the
Baka yan na yung
answers we
bagong
seek.
class.
But only if we
Ito na yung
contend with
bagong
her sister,
season.
Zivu Araf. It rests with me. Will you come back from this?
Gagawin niya, nag-ritual siya.
Do not be afraid.
Magiging siya si Zivu.
Gagi.
Sinasabi siya sa
Katawan niya.
Sino to? Si Switch Queen?
Di ba si ano yun? Sabakon?
You now wield hive magic and
What
have
the-
entwined it with your light.
Yuri, shit. Ay, dungeon.
Guardian,
6 man
and
yata, 6
open
man.
the way to our time.
Dahil is that weapon.
na lang.
Gagi, meron na tayong ano?
May boomer na rin tayo, pre.
Ay, Gagi, gumagawa na.
Oh shit.
The death of whispers,
Symbol na naman.
and they do
New symbol na naman. Okay ng enam.
Parang na-overwhelm ako sa info.
Ang ganda ng armor, tangina.
opponent you defeat strengthens me.
What the
Ito na yung protas ng Gagi.
Wait lang.
My
Pakikalma.
fight rises for your brutal tributes.
Ito na yung protas.
Let us show her what it is to be Hive.
Dungeon yata ito.
Hindi, wait lang. Kung hindi rate campaign nga. Holy shit.
Season of the
Ganda
Witch.
na- Ganda ng armor.
Kasi yung katawan
Witch
niya,
Queen ba yun? Witch Queen ba siya? O si Sibu?
Season of the Witch is our opportunity as players. We've been annihilating and breaking Hive spells, and now we finally get to cast them.
At the end of Season of the Deep, we learn that Savathun has the key to getting into the portal that we need to go into. That means we have to go find Imaru, her ghost. Imaru's like, not so fast. We've got a bigger problem first. And that bigger problem's name is Zivu Araf. If we fight her, she only gets stronger. Eris has an idea. It's a really,
Excited na ako
it's
sa
a
ano.
wild ass idea.
Campaign na ito.
She determines like, well, the best way to fight fire is with fire. We are channeling all of that energy that we're creating by going through, by eliminating enemies, and we're tithing to our friend Eris.
What does that mean for the characters and the player to kind of like be like Savathun? And that's where we went down the path of having Hive Eris. We want to extend that magical fantasy into the player then. That ability to have overwhelming magical power, that risk and reward into all of our activities and systems experiences. And so that's what led us to come up with things like Deck of Whispers. It's this magical deck of cards that creates amazing synergies with your Buildcraft meta and with buffs and the activities.
They can then choose these cards at will, whichever ones they want, and then that really leans into the build crafting.
You actually are getting cards that you can then use to place on the battlefield and change the way you play.
I'm such a sucker for deck building. Like being able to like bring that element into Destiny gameplay has just been like, oh, it's just really fun.
Medyo na ano ko dun sa my cards. Na-off ako.
Overwhelmed to.
So we've got two brand new seasonal activities coming with Season of the Witch. We've got Altars of Summoning and Savathun's Spire.
Savathun's Spire is our new 3-player offensive. You're doing a lot more with Lucent Hive magic, but it's got a high amount of combatant density. It's got additional random encounters that you can come across.
The Witch's Spire itself, Savathun's Spire, was like her reliquary for all these different magical experiments as she was learning the light. You're there in order to learn as much as you can in order to become a master spellcaster, right? To become like Savathun. The Altar of Summonings activity is really exciting because you can spend like 20 minutes in it or you can spend 2 hours in it.
It's a 3-player experience that you can hop in and hop out of. As you're going through this activity, you're filling the tithing bucket. As that tithing bucket is filled up, you'll get progressively more rewards. And then finally at the end, it'll cash out and you'll get a whole mess of rewards.
Samon, pre, alam niya Samon.
We really wanted to make sure that there was a home for any exotic mission content coming in seasons after the year has passed. And so we developed what we're calling the Exotic Mission Rotator.
Right away, we're getting Presage, Vox Obscura, and Operation Seraph Shield.
This is some of the most fun content the team has making. It's some of the content the fans and players of Destiny love the most. The most exciting thing, outside of just the missions themselves, is that every time we put a mission inside of that rotator, the exotic that comes alongside of it will become craftable.
Yo! DMT! Gadral na yung TMT natin.
With Season of the Witch, we have a brand new Vex lo-fi PvP map coming. It's really exciting. It's got a bunch of really tight gameplay experiences. We wanted to make sure that we focus the combat a little bit more. With the new Vex network map, we really wanted to make sure we hit is like, hey, you're shoulder to shoulder more often. There's not as much deep sight lines that you're interacting with. And a lot of the flow of the map is actually built around this like kind of central pillar of the Vex network that you're orienting around.
And there's also some modes coming too, right?
What?
We've got a new PvP game mode coming that's all about relics. It's about multiple relics, so it's not just one like the Scorch game mode from the past. So we've got the shield coming from Vulcan. We've got the spear back from Season of the Risen.
And we got the scythe from Season of the Haunted.
Yeah, so you're gonna be reaping Guardians with that thing. It's a lot more tactical gameplay. It's all about running around the map, claiming these relic dispensers, and then grabbing them in order to push for victory.
I will take what I need. The words in my throat are the weapon in my fist.
We were feeling pretty Hivey this season, obviously. There's something in the air. And so when thinking about like, what's a good raid reprisal that would really suit this very Hivey season, there's only one answer.
Oh shit.
Ayun na yung raid yata, tol.
talaga? No!
Hype daw eh.
No!
I have seen what the Hive call a god.
Anong meron sa Crotos End? Yun ba yung...
Bagong raid, pre. Ito yung day 1 natin.
Day 1 natin.
Ano ba kaya tayong mechanics? Pero magkaka-idea tayo kung paano. Kung manonood kayo na pawis lang.
Only a true weapon of the light can stop his wrath.
Wow. Mag-espada.
Ayun yung ano, boss.
Bagong boss.
Di ba si Crota?
Boss yan.
Ano yan, pre? Anak sa tuhod ni Crota.
Si ano?
Anak niya na yan.
Si Iho de Crota.
Iho de Crota. What the fuck? Wala yung subclass na bago?
Subclass question mark.
Heading into the final shape, we really want to rally all Guardians at the end of the Light and Darkness saga. We want to reduce those power barriers as well as catch people up on key story beats and make sure that they have a really great and easy time connecting with other players.
Features to features.
In the final shape, we're trying to find ways to make power more simple and easy to understand and also lowering the barrier to entry.
It's going to make it easier for players who have not been able to jump into game easily because they were held back by the challenges in grinding for the power levels that are required by these different activities.
One of the major changes that's going to be happening starting with the final shape is there are going to be a certain number of activities that are going to be power fixed. So it doesn't matter kind of what power level you are going into it, you're always going to be able to approach it. There's still going to be tiers of difficulty that you can do, things that are just meant to be experienced a certain way.
Things like Nightfall strikes that will still have power enabled, and that's where we're really going to focus the whole power climb.
The raids, the contest modes that everybody loves to engage with, that experience is fundamentally going to be staying the same.
I'm excited for this because I think there will be a lot more clarity for players in terms of understanding the relative difficulty of things, where they sit now in the spectrum.
One way that we're trying to do that is making it easier for new players to engage with you. So we're introducing something that we're calling Fireteam Power.
You can actually bring your friends along to play any dungeons and raids in the game without having to wait them to be at a certain power level. The person with the highest power in your fire team is actually going to bring all the others close to their power level, which means that there's no barriers really for any other Guardian to join you in this high-level content.
This combined with Fireteam Finder, it also allows you to find strangers, people you've never played with before, and have that same experience. That's all regardless of the power level of you and the rest of the people in your fire team.
Fireteam Finder is the new feature that's coming in Season 23, aimed at helping connect and find other people to complete the best and most aspirational content in Destiny. We have a tag system that allows players to be able to say, well, this is my play style. I'm really chill. I'm anti-sweat. I'm just really here to have a good time. Exactly.
Tags really allows players to show a bit more personality, show a little bit more about what they're about. I think what's really great about it is with this launch, we're also looking at including inclusion tags.
As an example, one of the inclusion tags that we have are for colorblind players. Hopefully the inclusion tags will bring players closer to finding their community and even closer to the people that they're playing with. So once a listing goes live, players will be put into a listing lobby where players can gather, they can communicate with each other. So we wanted to make it as convenient and as easy as possible for players to not just sit and stare at a screen for a long time while their listing actually fills up.
As a gamer who's typically more solo, I'm especially excited about this because it really is about helping reduce that anxiety and burden that comes with trying to make a new connection. The feature coming out today that I'm incredibly excited about is Timeline Reflections. Essentially what we have done is we've went back to previous expansions and pulled out missions that we felt really represent key narrative beats within our story. We are going to have a mission for Forsaken, a mission for Beyond Light, as well as a mission for Witch Queen.
The neat thing about these missions is they're not going to be like one-to-one for how you would experience them in the campaign. You're also going to get additional pieces of narrative fed to you to like identify like, hey, this is why it's important that this happened, and here are the people you met along the way.
A really big one that's really timely for Final Shape is Cayde's Last Stand from Forsaken. This is a moment that a lot of players, new and old, are going to come back to Destiny. I think this is just the right time to introduce features that are going to allow those players to jump right in and find people to play with and enjoy this content regardless of their power level.
Mukha silang hindi stressed eh.
Gagi. Ano lang pa ka sa player base eh.
All ends are beginnings.
We're reaching the end of this 10-year journey. What comes next?
The episodes. And the new way we're going to tell stories moving forward.
What's really important about episodes is that it's a really big shakeup to what we've been doing. Instead of providing 4 seasons a year, you are going to get 3 larger episodes. And so the first 3 episodes in this coming year are called Echoes, Revenant, and Heresy. It's coming right after the Final Shape. And the theme for the year is going to be all about the consequences and aftermath of the Final Shape. I think what's really the cornerstone of the episode model that we're building is the 3-act structure. The acts act as these anchors for us to introduce new weapons, new artifact mods, new activities. There's going to be new missions coming around the core. There'll be new story moments in every single one of these acts. We're actually providing more cinematic styled experiences throughout the Final Shape year and the episodes with it than any of the seasons we've ever developed before.
These new stories are actually playable as standalone. Like each episode is something you can experience whether you've been playing Destiny for 10 years or this is your first one.
You're going to be able to basically enjoy them in any order you want to.
I think the opportunity with this big epic moment is that we get to innovate the game. We get to move the game forward.
It's all about change frequently. It's all about deeper story moments. It's all about more weapons, more loot, more often. And it really provides the team with a platform to go much deeper into the themes and fantasies and story of any individual episode as compared to the seasons you know of today.
I'm so excited to see what the narrative team can do with this kind of new platform of storytelling. Episodes provides this awesome foundation for the future of Destiny.
We're moving into the next stage of Destiny 2. I think some people look at the final shape and they think Destiny 2 is coming to the end. And in many ways, it's the opposite. We're leaning in. We're putting the pedal to the metal. Episodes provide us a new, innovative way for players to engage with Destiny 2 throughout the year.
What makes a guardian a guardian? Devotion, bravery, sacrifice.
Doktor
We know
Manhattan
that we
sa
were
bala.
chosen for a reason, by something greater than ourselves.
Kamukha eh.
Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian.
Shaped by the fires of each new battle, we are forged and sharpened into what we must become for the fight ahead. We are the final line that halts the second collapse.
All of us. Every Titan. Every Warlock. Every Hunter.
What is it the Guardians say? Devotion inspires bravery.
Bravery inspires sacrifice.
Sacrifice leads to death.
Ano yung salita nun? Si ano?
The line between light and dark is so very thin.
What? No way.
Let's cross it together.
Ganda na cinematic, putang ina.
There are things out in the dark that only the dark can overcome. Trust me.
You've heard the stories of the Traveler's sacrifice, of darkness descending upon humanity.
Ganda ng ginawa ng cinematic dito.
This time, there is no escape.
Become legend.
Wala yung subclass? Hindi nila explain.
It's going to be an exciting year for Guardians. We get to make good on a promise that we made way back in 2014. There was classic rock blasting, a fire team racing across our solar system, and at the end, a simple message: become legend. Today, you got a glimpse at how we'll be cementing your legend in this upcoming year. We're going to be heading inside the Traveler, experiencing a destination unlike anything we've ever built before. We'll face the biggest bad we've ever made, and we'll do this all alongside a streamlined progression system, allowing us to easily play with friends in any content in the game. And as the dust settles in the final shape, we're going to continue our legends in Echoes. It's Destiny's first episode in a new phase of storytelling for Guardians, with brand new conflicts born from the resolution of the Light and Darkness saga. These first episodes are just the beginning. But if you're chomping at the bit to see how the Light and Darkness saga is going to kick off the future of Destiny 2, we've got a ton of great content for you to jump into today. Going live after this, we've got Season of the Witch, with a new story, new weapons, new armor, new activities, and new PvP content, all alongside a series of story catch-up missions, allowing any of your friends to jump into the game and get up to speed on what's happening in this world. Then, next week, a brutal reprisal of Crota's End is going to join the ranks of our aspirational content. I can't wait to see you all in the Throne World as we learn more about the final shape and how we can stop it.
New subclass piece.
Bring me your tithe.
bagong Sunflash.
Agad ko.
Matik yung dati.
After all these years, all we've lost, this fight might be our last. So I'm asking you to rise one last time.
Display yung ano.
Baka sa final shape player.
Sa plus.
Collector's Edition reveal.
When we create a collector's edition, we try and recreate items from the universe for players to enjoy outside of the game. So this year we're doing a Destiny 1 tower. We really try to work hard at thinking about 10 years of Destiny and how best to encapsulate that experience.
Even as the game dev who've worked on it since day one, like I think having it be the tower is super exciting for us because it's going to kind of catalog your journey of a player from when you first started playing Destiny all the way to now. The tower, it's kind of like the beacon in which you're a place you can call home.
You get the tower, and then there are actual figures of the Vanguard mentors that accompany that architectural model.
There's a lot of like hidden messages and hidden things.
There's going to be some fun surprises. We're always trying to push the envelope. And so we've been playing a lot with magnetic locks and sound effects, lights, just sort of make this experience as a whole really special. It's sort of the perfect symbol of Destiny. I'm so excited for it.
Me too.
Right.
Let's go, baby!
Drop plane.
Eh naman, wala akong pagpili eh. Di ba yung kasama sa pinili natin nung ano? Final shape? Hindi, ibang DLC na yan eh.
Post-show?
Sila ano to?
Ano meron sa post-show?